Mathis Delete is in trouble. I'm an handle trouble, no matter what kind of trouble handle. Meanwhile, Sanderberge to Manchester United seems to be advanced, as it has been revealed now that his price tag is a figure that you believe Man United should be able to manage. Welcome to the United of Sport. My name is Webb. It's rare that I give you quick back-to-back updates like this, but that is because there is a new one, not so good to be honest, but it is from a credible source. Now, here is a report that has come through from Build. This is something from Build. Now, Build, ordinarily I wouldn't make such a story, honestly. Ordinarily I wouldn't do such a story because it doesn't, it's not progressive with the club. But the fact that it is coming from Build is a decent source lately when it comes to matters Man United and football at large. Now, Build is saying that FC Bayern's Mathis Delete is being investigated by Munich police on suspicion of a hit and run. On Wednesday morning, he allegedly crashed into a parked car near the club's grounds, and that's the name. And then he drove off. Witnesses said the accident happened around 10 a.m. and a passerby called 911 and provided critical information about the Ligt. The Light's car was then towed away and appears to have been impounded. Police are currently investigating the damage to the car, but the most important question is whether the Ligt was aware of the accident, or maybe it was just minor damage that he as a driver wouldn't have noticed. Those are reports now. Now, guys, let me just be clear here. I have not, because Bayern Munich is yet to comment about this. Neither has Mathis Delete come out to comment about it. I'm only giving you this story because it is coming from Build. Build is a decent source. I can't just overlook it because these things happen. Now, if this is true, it's not like it's the end of the world. It's not criminal. Like, it's not, he did not kill anyone. He did not break anyone's limbs. But it certainly, it would affect the process that is trying to go on with Man United, who are already trapped in a difficult discussion with Bayern Munich over his signing. Now, if this happens, it will drag the process further in two ways. One, uh, the first thing is, first of all, instead of now focusing on getting the transfer business out of the way, they will now first have to sort him because he has to report to the police, the back and forth, and what that will carry some time. It will waste some time, which is not necessarily there. Even if he decided to pay off the fine, again, it would waste some time that is not there. But most importantly for me, if this is true, Ineos are in a state where they don't want to risk with the players they bring in. They want to bring in players who have a certain personality. They don't want to risk bringing in characters that are questionable. So the integrity of any player they add to the lot now is so important. Now, if Mathis Delete indeed did what he did, a hit and run, and he knocked someone's car, the humane thing to do is to stay there and figure it out. If you're a footballer like him, you've got the money to pay for it, even if it means buying a new car for whoever, if it's that bad, so long as it's not a fatality. The thing is, if he really did it and ran away, it speaks a lot about his personality. You're not sure. I'm not really sure. That's the kind of character that Ineos would want to bring around them. They would start questioning him, and perhaps they again then spend more time doing some background research about him. What is he like? What kind of person is he? What kind of character is he? So that would be the problem in terms of affecting the deal, and it could fall off just like that. So I wanted to just highlight it. I won't dwell so much on it because, like I said, it's probably not true. It's possible, but Build is a decent source. But away from that, the bigger one that I want to talk about is to do with Sanderberge. Now, the latest that has come in is that Burnley have made it clear they won't stand in the way of Sanderberge and him joining Man United if he wants to go, which he has expressed already. He's currently on £40,000 per week. Honestly, I think he should be one of, if not the topmost earner, or one of the topmost earners at Burnley. 40,000 quid per week. Man United, in the personal terms they discussed, offered him £100,000 per week. No brainer. He has to say yes. That is why, if you notice, I don't remember the last time a player linked with Man United had personal terms with us and they said no. They never do, because usually the terms will be juicy. And I mean, the wages will always be high. I mean, they are competitive, hugely competitive. I mean, we are Man United, one of the two biggest clubs in the world. And the thing, though, is the price. 30 million pounds is what reportedly that has been what has been put on him, is what Burnley would want. And well, it's not a lot of money. Excuse me. It's not a lot of money. The question is the willingness of Man United to pay that, given the situation that the club finds themselves in terms of the money. I think it all then have to go down to the payment structure. But of course, all that is subject to Man United really deciding that this is the player they're going for, because the personal terms having been discussed is not to confirm that yes, this is the player we're going for. They can discuss personal terms to see, and but then still weigh, and maybe at the 11th hour they could change their mind, because probably PSG have said, you know what, bring the money you have, because Manuel Ugarte is still the player Man United have prioritized to come in as a number 6. So, but at least what we are getting from the Sanderberg progress, at least this shows you that at least Man United are sure of who their backup player is. I think largely, if Manuel Ugarte indeed fails to happen, they know that Sander Berge and he would cost this, and perhaps they would then now, because now they know the figure of about 30 million pounds, they would have a clear idea of where this money should come from, which is, I think, a good way to handle it. It's a good thing, because then when that time comes where you've got to make the move to move on to the next stage and activate and actualize the deal, there won't be a lot of dragging. There won't be any back and forth, because at least you've got a proper idea. You know how much you're supposed to pay for the player, how much you're supposed to pay him, and you just make the bid so that there's no back and forth. So my feeling is it's a good way to handle. So those are the two updates that have just come in about, of course, Man United, and two players that we've been linked with. Of course, for the Ligt, it's not a very nice one. It's not one that we'll be excited to hear, considering that at least at this point in time, we want to be seeing movements and stuff. But then there's also one concerning PSG and Jadon Sancho. PSG have had direct discussions with Man FC for Jadon Sancho. Talks are advancing. This is according to a one Duncan Castles. This is Duncan Castles is quite another. He's a journalist, and he works for the Sunday Times and the Daily Record. He's a credible source. So he's saying that PSG have had talks for Jadon Sancho, and they are advancing. So it's possible that Sancho could be leaving. Remember, PSG are beginning to move fast. Already, they signed Joao Neves. Then they signed Pacho as well today. I think they confirmed Pacho today. You see that they are moving fast to try and get deals done. So it's possible now that they have engaged the top gear when it comes to Jadon Sancho, but also the fact that these talks with Sancho are now advanced, it means maybe Manuel Ugarte will still come up in the conversation, and maybe in the next coming few days we should now have a clear decision on Manuel Ugarte, whether Man United have completely given up on him or there is still hope. Because if they are now in direct talks with PSG over Sancho, certainly on the sidelines they should be able to ask about Ugarte, and something should be known, because the reality is the luxury of time is not there for Man United. There is a lot to fix as we head into the new season. So that's exactly, and of course we also have to concentrate on the games as well, preparing the team for the games as well. So it's a critical time. So I think it's positive updates that for Manchester United, save for the delete update. Let's just hope that it's nothing serious, but that's what's happening with Man United. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. I will be back later with more in case it's there. Subscribe, turn on your notification bell, because I told you this week is bound to be a busy one, and of course the coming days as well will be the same, and I will be here minute per minute, second after second. Every update as it comes, I throw it to you, and of course you swallow it and savor it. So be a part of the party. The season is just getting close. Catch you later, fam.